A new season and new hopes rippled through Goodison Park at the start of David Moyes' first full campaign at the helm of Everton Football Club. A gruelling pre-season schedule faced the players when they returned from their summer break, with tours to Austria and Scotland arranged, and the manager eager to reacquaint himself with the players that had served him so well at the end of last season. Amongst the new faces were the manager's additions to his coaching staff, returning Blue Alan Irvine and his lieutenant from Preston North End, Jimmy Lumsden. The Blues boss spent most of the summer recess searching for players to bolster his squad, including a scouting mission to the World Cup. After a slow start in the market, he eventually got his men. Joseph Yobo was the first to put pen to paper. David Moyes had fought off the attention of several other top European clubs, including Juventus, to sign the highly rated Nigerian World Cup star from Marseille, initially on a 12-month contract. Juliano Rodrigo soon followed from Brazil on a similar deal. The extremely talented Brazilian, who narrowly missed out on Brazil's World Cup winning squad, came highly recommended from the legendary Jairzinho. Lee Tai, who'd enjoyed the World Cup experience with China, joined the club on a 12-month loan period in conjunction with the new sponsorship deal that Everton had forged with leading Chinese company Keijian. He was eager to make a big impression on the Premier League stage, along with fellow Chinese international Li Weifeng. Such deals freed up the purse strings for the big money signing of the summer. Richard Wright left double-winning Arsenal in search of pastures new to increase his international credentials. He became part of the Goodison revolution under David Moyes. However, a ball hadn't even been kicked before the celebrations began on the blue side of Merseyside. Everton launched the 2002-2003 campaign by celebrating the achievement of becoming the first club to participate in 100 seasons of top-flight football. With a series of events planned throughout the season, the club made a visible testament to their achievement, with a series of banners adorning the stadium both inside and out. After an active summer which witnessed the emergence of Wayne Rooney as a potent force in the first team, and an extremely impressive run of results in the pre-season fixtures, Goodison simply couldn't wait for the big kick-off. And it kicked off at home to Tottenham Hotspur, with Wayne Rooney making his competitive debut, alongside the new signings Lee Tai, Richard Wright and Rodrigo.
Now Radzinski's away, this is promising, Rooney's in the middle, Campbell making tracks too, overlapping is Pembridge, here's Rooney, Pembridge in space, Pembridge now! Oh, that is a classic, an absolute classic, to start the party at Goodison Park. Mark Pembridge puts it past the despairing Keller. But it was beautiful football by Everton. Lovely stuff. Radzinski bursting down the right. Real effervescence about him. Rooney did great. Brilliant to size it up. And Pembridge the first time hit. Great goal. Well, that'll make him a lot more happier, I would have thought. Really nicely for Radzinski, now Rooney. He's got Lee time making strides here. Rooney shot! Oh, that one fizzed. And Casey Keller called into urgent action. And that really could have written the headlines tomorrow with that one, Wayne Rooney. Thought the opportunity had gone, but he wasn't frightened about pulling one out at all. And Keller forced to tip over. Bunjevcevic. Davis. Again, Sergi's got a shooting chance here, Davis. Well won. Might drop for Redknapp though. Etherington. This is promising for Spurs. Oh, great goal. Richard Wright left completely flat-footed. And Etherington, who's been a thorn in the side of Everton, has notched an equaliser. Ferdinand's chest down to Everton. Ferdinand with a shot. Oh, it's gone in. And what an impact Les Ferdinand has made. And it's a complete turnaround. A good ball by Campbell now. This is more promising. Rodrigo's pulled away. Radzinski in on goal. Brilliant. Well, he's deserved that, Thomas Radzinski, because he's been absolutely tireless this afternoon. And to be fair, Everton have deserved it too. The space opened up and he finished it beautifully. And David Moyes, full of relief.
Although pleased with the work rate, David Moyes was left disappointed that his team hadn't taken all 3 points in their opening game.
Disappointment at half-time that we didn't go on and win the game. With probably 5 minutes to go, I'd have been delighted to take a point. And I thought the boys showed great commitment and a great effort today. And we're pleased, disappointed we didn't take all the points, but pleased that they showed that they're in good shape and they're up to the challenge.
But an away trip to Sunderland presented the Blues with an opportunity to make amends for their opening day frustration.
Working quite nicely. Campbell. And now Gravison. That's a nice idea if Radzinski can run that one down, and he can. Thomas Radzinski. And Hibbert will put a high, hanging cross in. Stephen Wright got a good header on it, but Pembridge can pick it up. Mark Pembridge swings it back in, and Sorensen dives and claims. Well, Mark Pembridge, who scored Everton's first goal of the season last weekend, nearly creating another one there. Kyle, that's good from Kevin Kyle. Campbell now for Everton. And Gravison, curling ball. Radzinski's free, headed back, Campbell, gotta be a goal, and it is a goal for Everton. Simple in the end, and Kevin Campbell has given Everton the lead at the Stadium of Light. Thomas Sorensen beaten for the first time this season. Kevin Campbell has his first goal of the season. Thomas Gravison's perceptive ball to the far post. Radzinski had drifted away, headed down, and that was simple for Kevin Campbell. Lee Tai. Ball through, Lee Tai, great run, Lee Tai's shot, good save. And this young midfielder has grown in confidence from the opening whistle and is now virtually running the show in there. That's a really well-worked move. And Lee Tai close to his first goal in English football. Another corner. Niall Quinn's in there now. Rayner takes. Well, it looked like Niall Quinn was pushed. And the decision is a penalty to Sunderland. Sunderland have won a penalty, and that is for a push by the goalkeeper on Niall Quinn. There is Niall Quinn. He backs in, Richard Wright comes forward and just shoves him. Well, you make up your own minds, but Richard Wright did put hands on Niall Quinn. Kevin Phillips has the opportunity for Sunderland from the penalty spot. And it's been saved, incredibly! Oh, what a save! Richard Wright, what a save! What a save, time stood still. Well, Richard Wright, who felt he was hard done by the penalty, makes his thoughts plain. Phillips struck it high, one hand to it, but it's the second bit. That's incredible. That's a great save.
Having won only 3 times on their travels last season, 3 points away from home came at the first time of asking this time around. The Blues barely had time to draw breath before their midweek encounter with newly promoted Birmingham City, who'd yet to pick up a point, but proved difficult to break down on the evening.
Up towards Campbell again, the flick on wasn't a bad one on his left foot. He's chosen Rooney in the penalty area. Rooney shot! Ever so close to a record breaker for Wayne Rooney there. But every touch gets ever closer for the boy that's only just left school. Good ball in
as well, but Vassen just got the vital touch on his left hand. And he was just a coat of glove away there from being the Premiership's youngest goal scorer. It'll come sooner or later, Wayne, don't you worry. The ball out from Gravison. If Hibbert can reach it, Hibbert can on his right foot. Into the area, Radzinski, neat dummy. Campbell might have tried another dummy. Into Campbell again on his right foot, off the post! Unsworth the ball back in and helped away. And the danger subsides. A coat of paint again denying Kevin Campbell. Wonders what he has to do to get the opener. Good little move again, and this three-pronged attack is proving to be a little bit of a headache for Birmingham. A messy ball through now, and Stern John is through on goal. David, and has a penalty been awarded? Yes, it has. And Stubbs had a good chunk of his shirt there, and he could be in some trouble here with referee Eddie Wolstenholme. And it's a red card for Stubbs. Stern John against Steve Simonson. Right-footed shot, and no mistake from Stern John. It's Birmingham's first goal in the Premiership from the spot, and you can see the relief on those fans' faces. Headed on by Kevin Campbell then towards the feet of Radzinski. Shot from Lee Tai. Ended up some way wide, but that was the first sight we had of his right foot, Lee Tai. Ferocious effort from him. Rooney towards that back post, punch from Vassen. Rodrigo still has support from Rooney. Flicks around, flick on. Weir's at the back post. Hibbert picks up the scraps. It's almost too quick to commentate on here. Headed away. Shot coming in. Is it in? Yes, it is! And Everton have sneaked an equaliser in the most unlikely of circumstances. And it's David Unsworth that is claiming the prize. You can't say they haven't deserved it. You can't say they haven't been the team that's been on top. Rodrigo's cross was exquisite. The header came out. They didn't even know where it was. Tony Hibbert got the cross back in. It was almost too difficult to see where it landed, but that's where it landed, and it come off a deflection via two defenders.
It was a just reward for all their efforts, but it was still 2 points dropped rather than one gained for David Moyes.
Good start. A little bit disappointed we didn't take all the points tonight, but can't complain after the way the game went. But just a wonderful, great attitude and commitment by the players, which got us 1 point from the game.
Attentions quickly turned to a tricky encounter against big spenders Manchester City, who were looking for a vast improvement in their own form.
Gravison now doesn't appear to be the full 10 yards, which is what City are complaining about. It's lined up for Anelka, and it took a deflection on its way through, and it's beaten Simonson. Anelka then waits for the Benarbia free kick. Kept in by Jensen. Now Huckabee. Howie's headed down, Foe couldn't get there, Anelka does! It's 2-0 Manchester City within 16 minutes. No doubt that that's Anelka's goal. Here's Radzinski, now Gravison. Here's Naismith. Penalty, Sean Wright-Phillips hacks him down. And Everton have their chance to get back into the game. Naismith really was flying then, and Wright-Phillips was committed and took his legs, no question about it. It's 2-1, and Everton are back in with a shout now in this match before the half hour. Some of the players at the back have just been looking to David Moyes for guidance on how long is left. He's indicated 7 minutes, and there will be at least that, of course, with stoppage time added on for the second half substitutions. Oh,
That error from Naismith could be costly. It's Anelka. Yes! Anelka rounds off the afternoon in spectacular fashion.
It was the Blues' first defeat of the season, with one of Anelka's goals later credited to Tomas Radzinski. It had been a mixed opening month for the Blues, an away win at Sunderland, only 2 points from a possible 6 at home, and a frustrating defeat at Manchester City, who left the Toffees in 12th position. Making an immediate impression upon David Moyes' plans for the season, the Chinese international Li Tai had gained plenty of positive plaudits for his performances in the opening month of the campaign. Combining his unquestionable talents with a desire for success, China's most talented player quickly endeared himself to the Goodison faithful. At 24, the energetic midfielder had already gained 79 caps for his country. He played in the World Cup finals and was now looking to establish himself in the Premiership with Everton Football Club. Travelling to Southampton's St Mary's Stadium, Everton were hoping the history would be repeating itself after Steve Watson had scored the only goal in last season's game. But they were unable to make an overwhelming territorial advantage pay and were on the wrong end of a dubious penalty decision.
Ski. Oh, it's Paul Jones saving with his legs, the Welsh international. Everton's ball through. A weighted pass. Radzinski with a really good run. Radzinski. Williams has backed off. Jones has saved. Campbell with the follow-up. Everton piling the pressure on the Saints defence. Williams was left in no man's land there, and Campbell's follow-up was way off target. Radzinski is causing the problems. Appeals for a penalty, which is given. Everton concede yet another penalty. Steve Bennett waves away the protest. And it's Bahars himself to take it and scores past Paul Gerrard.
It was now 3 penalties in 5 games that had been awarded against the Blues, but the message from David Moyes to his players became, start turning chances into points. With the visit of Steve McLaren's high-flying Middlesbrough, Goodison was still waiting for his first victory, and the Blues were in need of a tonic to really kick-start their season.
We're wanting to turn it back for another attack, but Everton could be caught on the back here as Macaroni. Middlesbrough got support, Everton rushing back, it's Nemeth! And Middlesbrough get a shot lead. Pembridge wanted to take it quickly to Unsworth. Turns it into the area, headed forward to the goal, and Middlesbrough in all sorts of difficulties. Campbell! And Radzinski and Alexanderson putting the pressure on, but Campbell found the final touch. And Everton are level. The throw caused the difficulty at first. Alexanderson got up, Radzinski headed against the post, and Campbell tucked it away. So, could be Stubbs, could be Rooney. Rooney's almost standing on top of it, curls that one, and Schwarzer watched it go over. Oh, Wayne Rooney, what an effort. Campbell ducked, but in the end the ball didn't drop enough. Beautifully crafted free kick. Graveson's corner. Everton pushing men up again. Campbell! Kevin Campbell has a second, and Everton have the lead. It's not before time because they've been pressing and pressing. It was a great corner by Graveson, and Campbell got up around everybody and found the far post.
It was a welcome success for David Moyes' men, who had reason to feel frustrated at their points total so far.
It was important for us because we've performed very well, and you hope that your performances you get results, and I think in some of the occasions recently we've not had what we deserved. Today I think, you know, at times we're a little bit fortunate, but you know, Middlesbrough are going to be a good side, and I think they're developing into a very good team, so I think it's no mean feat to pick up the 3 points against them.
Away to Aston Villa, the Blues were unable to continue where they'd left off, despite another spirited display.
Now Crouch. Space again down that right-hand side for De La Cruz. And again he skips past the challenge of Unsworth. Vassell, Hendry takes over!
Cancella. Now Melberg with a lot of space ahead of him. On to De La Cruz. Dangerous cross. Crouch left it, Barry didn't. And the shot by Henry finds the net. It's an action replay. David Moyes must have set out his plans to his players in the half-time interval, G'd them up, got them going, sent them out there. Go on, we can get something out of this game. And then within a couple of minutes, they're 2 down. Radzinski's shot has made it 2-1. Campbell with his back to goal. That's a lovely little layoff too. 3 in the middle here for Everton. Campbell! Magnificent save by Enkelman. Cancella again guards that near post area. Oh, what a dangerous ball! And Campbell this time has made it. Brilliant corner, and Everton are level. Kevin Campbell. It's not bad. Melberg gets on the end of it. Oh, yes! Somehow or other, Dion Dublin found the space to squeeze it home, and maybe we have seen the winner. What a substitution.
It was a cruel blow when it seemed the momentum was with the Blues after their second half comeback. It seemed only a matter of time before the tide would turn, and on a day when drive, passion and determination proved decisive, the Blues recovered to topple Fulham.
6 in the area for Everton, and it's in! Kevin Campbell goes to thank Mark Pembridge for a quite wicked delivery. Everton in front, right on the stroke of half-time. Set pieces continue to be Everton's main strength this season. And just look at the pace and whip on that ball in there. It only needed the faintest of touches. Kevin Campbell applied it in off the post, his 5th goal of the season.
We have 3 minutes of time added on to be played in this half.
Well, we've got 3 minutes of added time. Kevin Campbell breaking the deadlock in a match which has threatened goals all afternoon long. That's what a striker like Campbell needs. That's what he got. And it was the quality of the free kick from Pembridge which made the goal. Here's Radzinski. Everton in search of a second here. Gravison. Just look at that. Two goals in quick succession give Everton a 2-goal cushion approaching half-time, and Fulham backed off, and Thomas Gravison, sent off in the corresponding fixture last season, has made Fulham pay. Well, there was no one around him. He picked his spot and planted it right in the bottom corner. Perfectly executed. And Everton's fine home form continues. Hit towards Carsley. Radzinski! Off the post. The sharpest reflexes imaginable from Thomas Radzinski there.
The win ensured the month ended on a high note and extended the Blues' unbeaten home record for the season. September witnessed a steady rise up the Premiership table, only 1 victory adrift of 4th place Manchester United. The team was making encouraging progress. Being an integral member of David Moyes' side, Kevin Campbell mirrored the explosive start he'd made to last season's campaign, netting 5 times in the early games. Forming 2 very successful partnerships with both Thomas Radzinski and Wayne Rooney, he offered much more to the team than just goals. Having recovered from 2 lengthy setbacks last season, he was certainly back to his best. Attention switched to the Worthington Cup at the start of October, and the away fixture at 3rd Division Wrexham proved to be historic. Wayne Rooney became Everton's youngest ever goal scorer.
But a good competition this for Everton. Looking to change it though. Metier.
Was it maybe for Campbell? Real chance now for Everton. There's the point to Litier. He knows he was put in with a great spotter's badge. Ferguson looking for trouble there, and he may have found it with Wayne Rooney. Record breaker. The moment every Evertonian and Wayne Rooney's family have been waiting for. Between Dennis Lawrence and the fullback, between the legs of the goalkeeper. Rooney's in again here, and the tired legs of Lawrence could have put his side in danger. Another chance for Rooney. It's made the tie safe and seal what's been a great day for Wayne Rooney. He ran him ragged at the back. Wayne Rooney, second half substitute.
A comfortable victory, and the Blues were rewarded with a third-round tie away to Newcastle. The league fixtures resume with a journey to Manchester United, who, like the Blues, seem to be hitting form after a stuttering start. Everton gave a really good account of themselves, and even Sir Alex Ferguson admitted that the final outcome flattered his side.
Giggs here looks to get through, and Ryan Giggs is through. Scholes! It's been a long time coming, but it has come with just over 4 minutes left. Manchester United get their goal.
A real spirited performance this by Everton, though, hasn't it? I've been very impressed by them. The ability to defend and stand up against the mighty United.
Van Nistelrooy through, and it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Was he pulled back? He was. Penalty. It was Weir who pulled him back, and he showed a red card. It's all gone horribly wrong in the last 5 minutes for Everton. A man down. Richard Wright facing a rude Van Nistelrooy penalty. Brilliantly delivered. The point surely safe now. Silvestre. Scholes. Paul Scholes. He's going to get a penalty. What a way to round it off.
It was certainly a scoreline that didn't reflect the balance of play, and not for the first time. The Blues left empty-handed, having deserved much more for their efforts. After a break for international duties, Arsenal visited Goodison, having not lost on their travels for a remarkable 17 months. But all records have to come to an end one day, and what a day it proved to be.
Open ground to run into. Across towards Kano. Slippers by Weir. Recovery by Unsworth. Might still come for Toure. Good tackle by Litier. Ljungberg. Arsenal in front. Another day. Another Arsenal goal. Toure. Lauren was making the overlapping run. He's now out of position. Radzinski was held by Sol Campbell. Quickly taken. Thomas Gravison. Everything's to his right here. Carsley's in acres of space. And here is Lee Carsley now. Oh, hit the post and came out. Radzinski. Yes! Siemens' luck didn't hold. Saved by the woodwork. He is beaten by Radzinski. Everton on terms. Lee Carsley was the man denied. So unluckily, nothing Seaman could do about that or about this, as Radzinski kept his concentration, kept his composure, and found the space to fire home. And no more than Everton have deserved. A man bought to replace Francis Jeffers last year has equalised against Arsenal. Making the run beyond Gilberto. Good control from Thomas Gravison. Strong play by the Dane. Strong hit. Seaman got a touch, just kept it on its way. Stirring play by Thomas Gravison.
Substitution coming on, number 8, Thomas Racinski, and coming on, number 18,
5 days short of his 17th birthday. Instant control. Fancies his chances. Oh! Remember the name! Wayne Rooney, whose record he's broken. Michael Owen, that's who. Owen was the Premiership's youngest ever scorer. Rooney now is. Seaman shaking his head, wondering what he's done to deserve all this.
It was a day that no Blue will ever forget, and Goodison savoured the moment.
When you beat a side such as Arsenal, then you've got to be delighted. And you know, we needed a win. We wanted the points, and I think from the off we showed that. We started a little bit slack, but as the game went on, we got a bit stronger. But you know, we have total respect for Arsenal and the way they play their football. But you know, I've said to the players after the game, you know, this can't just be a one-off win. Winning's got to be something that they do more often, and you know, enjoy that feeling. You know, Arsenal are used to it now, and we hope that we become used to it in the future. It's a great goal, and I think if you get a chance, look at the boy's touch as well when he takes it out of the sky. It wouldn't have been out of place if it wasn't one of the Arsenal boys that had done it. So excellent, and yeah, it was a good goal.
Business resumed at West Ham, who'd failed to register a single victory at home over the season, and the result went according to form as the Toffees dealt the Hammers another blow.
With a curling cross in on the right foot. Could have come out to Sinclair. Richard Wright may have seen it a little late. Sinclair didn't hit it true into the ground, but Wright had to stretch to get to that. Hit to the far post, headed out well. Looking for Defoe, but he didn't get on the end of that. Oh, a miscue, and Pearce got himself in trouble. And a real let-off there. Campbell's shot, well saved by David James. But Pearce, I don't know whether he let that one go or he couldn't reach it. First time cross, curls it beautifully. It's a goal for Everton, and it's Carsley. It was coming, and then the 70th minute, Everton have taken the lead. It was a poor ball from Di Canio that led to Unsworth being fed out on the left-hand side. And he hit a first-time cross in, which Carsley towered above the West Ham defence to head home and give Everton the lead. And West Ham yet again find themselves behind at home.
The single goal proved enough to seal the victory as the Blues notched up yet another away win. It had been a successful month. With successive victories over Arsenal and West Ham, there could be no clearer signs of the improvement the club was making under the leadership of David Moyes. Rising to 8th in the table and just 2 points behind third place Chelsea, there was a feeling something special was on the horizon.
Possibly Wayne's goal against Arsenal was a turning point for us. You know, it was Wayne's coming age, and it was, you know, it gave us a bit of belief that we could go on and be a success.
It was one of these days which you always long for, and we got it. You know, the goal by Wayne and the finish to the game was excellent, and to beat them, the champions at that time, was it really set Everton up, and I think was probably a big thing towards the way we went. Now I think a lot to the way people looked at us as well.
Be remembered for that goal, the goal that swerved, dipped and left England. It was Wayne Rooney's first Premiership goal, and one that was awarded the Premiership Goal of the Month. Showing a maturity way beyond his years, he'd become an essential ingredient in David Moyes' revolution. Combining an instinctive eye for goal with blistering pace, the youngster is without doubt England's brightest young star, but more importantly, he's all blue.
Well, it's great that somebody like Wayne was trying to get into the team, and he eventually did. And he's a great lad, great football player. You know, made it not only for Everton but for England. You know, just looking at him play, the way he moves, the way he takes on opponents, it's always a learning process for football players. And you know, Wayne has always something special, and I can always learn from the little things.
The football field is where he does things natural.
Is he even surprising you with some of the things he's doing?
No.
He's just that good.
Yes.
November began with an away fixture at Elland Road, a ground that Everton hadn't recorded a victory at for 51 years. But it was time for another record to be broken.
It's not been a classic so far. Carsley and Pembridge attempting to change that. Pembridge's ball in towards the frame of the goal, but it wasn't a cross, and Pembridge, the look on his face tells you he was going for that all ends up. Robinson caught slightly unaware, but the hand and the save was strong. The chance from a set piece towards the back post. Big men are up there. It was Stubbs who got the initial header and a bit of confusion. Radzins takes a great touch. Decent looking save as well from Paul Robinson. Trying to build something again. It's Radzinski who powers forward, and he's bought himself a little bit of space here. But there's a good save at the legs of Robinson. Litier put him in, but just look at the challenge. Just been enough to put him off, maybe. And the cry all along to change what has been a dire encounter so far here this afternoon. Just the sight that every defender hates to see. So late on in the game, Radzinski's going to make way. Ultimately not been a successful day for Thomas Radzinski. There's the smile. A few instructions from his manager probably just to run at defenders. The legs get a little bit heavy. One slice of pace goes off and another comes on. Way out of a bit of a difficult situation defensively there. He's backing off him all the way. Rooney with the shot. He skipped, sauntered, shimmied towards goal, and there was nothing any Leeds defender could do about it. Past the initial challenge, and Radaby backed off. He just didn't know what to do. He had no right to go for that way, Rooney. The angle was almost impossible. The slip in the first place. Radaby tried to put his frame in front of him. Robinson thought it had gone wide, and Rooney, with 10 minutes to go, may have won this game for the Blues.
It was another unforgettable afternoon. The Blues climbed a further 2 places into 6th, and Wayne Rooney once again made all the morning headlines.
But I think the players lived up to expectations and probably surpassed them as well. They played wonderful today. Long times we had the ball, passed it well, created opportunities, and you know, I think if we come away with a draw today, I'd have been disappointed.
We're absolutely delighted about winning the league. It's fantastic for us. We also went away and won at West Ham as well, so we're really delighted how things are going. We just need to keep working hard, and I think that's what the manager's made out that is the main thing we need to do. If we train hard and work hard during the week, then things will pull off for us on a Sunday. But it was a very difficult game for us today.
With the Blues on a Premiership roll, it was Worthington Cup time again. A third-round trip to Newcastle provided an evening of high drama.
And Campbell, well, the marking was non-existent at work. It's a great run, and it's the equaliser, and it's the captain who's done it. Too much emotion from Sir Bobby. And Dyer is on fire. Talk about in quick succession. Dyer just smashed it into that far corner. Rooney's away now, though. Danger signs here, and there is the equaliser. And it's Stevie Watson, the former Newcastle player. Well, this game is full of stories now. And Rooney, this time, is the creator. Always looking up. And Watson is just the sort of player who keeps on running in support. Court is wide. Dyer wants to go. Chopper's in the middle, so too Robert. Here comes Robert. It's an own goal. And it's Alessandro Pistone, and another former Newcastle fullback has scored, but this time at the wrong end for his team. There, Carsley blocks it, and here come Everton again. They've not given up the ghost yet. Radzinski. He challenged that, ball loose for Campbell. Campbell the real chance. Is that a handball? That'll be trouble. That's a penalty. Unsworth He does have a trusty left foot. Harper, chance for him to really take advantage of his moment between the posts, but Unsworth is having none of it. And Everton right again. David Unsworth makes it 3-3. Kieran Dyer leads from the front. The captain takes the first penalty for Newcastle and puts it away. Everton start with their banker. Unsworth has scored one. He hasn't scored a second though. Steve Harper comes up with a save. Solano with the second one, and that's buried. Steve Watson's had an eventful return to St James's Park. He's got the second penalty, and he's put it away calmly enough. Guyana's left foot has been impressive. Can he convert? No. Good save there from Richard Wright. Well, is Wayne Rooney a penalty taker as well? You might have guessed the answer. Young Michael Chopra, on his debut for Newcastle, takes the responsibility of the penalty, but he's put it over the top. Campbell for the advantage.
There just seemed to be no stopping David Moyes' men in all competitions. Following 3 away fixtures, it was back to Goodison for the visit of Charlton Athletic and another single-goal victory.
Everton break again. It's a good ball from Gravison. Radzinski one-on-one now. Yes! Bang on the half-hour point, and the man comes calling. Thomas Radzinski, his 4th of the season. But that was how quick Everton can break. That was how quick they can turn one attack into another. The centre of the midfield, it was Thomas Gravison, as you'd expect, right in the centre of it. Picked up a bit of untidy possession, and he just looked up the outside of the right foot. Took a look, Thomas Radzinski, bang, 1-0 to the Blues. Oh, now Gravison has a chance on his left foot. Well, it just shows you how quick Everton can break. Edge of the box, there it is.
It was another well-deserved victory that lifted the Blues further up the table into 4th place.
I thought for 70 minutes, I thought we were really good. I thought it was as well as we played at times. I mean, the players went at it from the first minute, kept up the pace, and because we didn't get the second goal, then obviously Charlton have got something to go for. You know, they can have a go at it. They've already lost the game. We've got something we have to try and hang on to, which puts you in the back foot a little bit. But in the end, we dug it out, and I thought for 60-70 minutes, if we'd got the second or third goal, you know, I'd have been able to smile a lot earlier.
Blackburn away would offer a tough test. Having enjoyed a good start to the season themselves, they lay just 3 points behind the Blues.
Everton in with a chance behind them here. Radzinski. Getting plenty of space on the right-hand side, Lee Carsley against his old club. And it's Carsley into the feet of Campbell. Real chance here. Great finish. He had no time to think about it, Kevin Campbell. As it dropped, he took it on the half volley. And he took the keeper by surprise, Brad Friedel. And again it was Lee Carsley. Saw the defender coming in on his blind side. The early ball in. And a priceless goal. 19 minutes in. Everton on the ropes. They know how this result could possibly take them into the top 3. So holding on for dear life, but they're in trouble here. He's in behind them, Duff. Cross coming in. Punch from Richard Wright. That was a timely interception. David Thompson hanging about. Get one over on the team he used to face in Merseyside derbies, but Unsworth just put his bulk in the way. Rooney's ball in. And that managed to stay in. A good strong run. No decision. Campbell's making the run towards the back post. Ball didn't find him in the end, but he's still there. Good save from Friedel. Clear. Whistles ringing out now. Everton stood backs against the wall. The ball into the box, causing problems. A difficult bounce too. Great save from Richard Wright. Goal stays down. And there's David Unsworth. And it was last chance saloon for Blackburn.
It was now 5 consecutive league wins in a row for the Toffees as they continued to make an impression at the right end of the table. And in doing so, they had already surpassed last season's total of away victories.
But, you know, the games like going to Leeds United this year and earlier in the season we won at Sunderland and some other really good victories on the road have helped us, and it's important that you win away from home, and we got most of our away wins earlier in the season, and that's something we need to look at, that, you know, how to win more as the season goes on.
And with the visit of basement team West Bromwich Albion, the signs were promising for the run to be extended.
Towards a penalty box, and Stubbs is there. Campbell was in the way. I don't think it would have beaten Russell Holt, but still maybe a chance. Half cleared. The header from Stubbs possibly would have found the arms of Russell Holt. Campbell was in the way and tried to recreate something for the Blues. Good bit of skill from BTR. Hands possession straight back to Everton. Didn't look like a good ball from Graverson, but Hibbert made it so. Thomas Radzinski. From distance, Radzinski took it out of the air. Russell Holt had a decent looking game so far, the goalkeeper. That was long ball. For handball against McInnes. Everton don't stop though. BTR into the chest of Radzinski. Well, they might have opened up for a shot for him, but it has for Radzinski. Great move from Everton. Well deserved, Thomas Radzinski. And Everton have the lead. BTR gets a pat on the head from Kevin Campbell, and he really is where the goal has come from. Didn't stop when the decision didn't go their way. We thought Thier might have maybe had a shot from there. Radzinski with a cool finish, and Everton with a priceless lead. Again into the feet of Campbell. Opened up for Graverson for the right field ball. It's a header on the back post. Didn't cause Russell Holt any problems. The header from Naismith really.
Another 1-0 victory, another Thomas Radzinski goal. November had been an outstanding month for the Blues. Overcoming everything that had been placed before them, they stretched their winning sequence to 6, a feat not achieved since the title-winning 86-87 season. Sitting in third, talk of Europe was beginning to circulate, and David Moyes was rewarded for his efforts when he was picked as the manager of the month.
We've always known we've had the quality, but you know, maybe it's the direction we've needed. Being up there in the table, teams start to fear you, and that's what we're finding, especially at home. So it's nice to be feared.
David Moyes' record summer signing began to blossom in November. Having not conceded a goal since October, Everton's success was now built on a firm defence. Richard Wright, who's noted for his exceptional qualities as a shot stopper and a great commander of his area, has impressed both Evertonians and Sven-Göran Eriksson alike in his time at Goodison, and he'll be looking to add to the 2 England caps he's already earned. December began with Newcastle away, where the Blues had already won, and they came within a whisker of repeating that success.
Up by Pembridge to David Unsworth. There's Campbell. What a good ball that was then from Unsworth. And Campbell has forced it in too. Sheer determination produced the goal. And yet again, Newcastle have proved vulnerable at the back. And Kevin Campbell, Everton's leading scorer this season, has pounced for the opener. Such a turnaround under David Moyes. Yobo and Bellamy is away from him, or would have been. The assistant is flagging, and Yobo could be in big trouble here. That blistering pace of Bellamy was simply too much for Yobo, and he's no slouch. It's a measure of how quick Bellamy is, and Yobo could well receive his marching orders here, and he has. It's a red card. I don't think the referee had too much option. So Laurent Robert will take this corner kick. O'Brien has just arrived in the centre along with Caldwell to join Shearer, and there is Shearer! Such a powerful header. A wonderful, wonderful save from Richard Wright. This is the man they said was a failure at Highbury. He has found his best form again, no question about it, with Everton. Now Rooney. Oh, just ghosting past Bernard. But not O'Brien. Such an exciting talent though. Campbell, on to Rooney. Now there could be danger, still Rooney. Well, denied at the last. By Robert, to Amiobi, and then Shearer! I think it's extraordinary to beat Richard Wright today. An absolute pile driver from Alan Shearer. But then should we be really surprised about what this man can come up with? Bellamy. Oh, it's gone in! Oh, what a turnaround! Craig Bellamy! It flew in off Richard Wright of all people.
So the unbeaten run came to an end, but with pride still firmly intact following a courageous performance. Drawn away to Chelsea in the fourth round of the Worthington Cup, it proved to be a less than satisfactory night in the capital. The Blues crashed out of the competition. Disappointed, but there could be few complaints. 3 days later it was Chelsea again, but this time at Goodison in the league. But once again it was the same outcome.
He gets the drill ball in towards the front post. There's a chance here, and it's into the goal. And look who it is. It's Mario Stanic, who looked the more lively in the opening few minutes. 4 minutes into the game. Zolo again towards Lampard. Lampard in real shooting distance now. Had to be beaten out by Wright. Couldn't hold it. Hasselbank finishes off. Saeed can't quite get the clearance on it, but Everton can't pick up the scraps. Challenge from Carsley. Everton do win back possession now. Claudio Ranieri just coming out there and telling his Chelsea squad to get back possession as quick as they can. That's what they're trying to do. Radzinski's header on. Campbell's chest down. Maybe a chance for Naismith if he can coax the ball out. Real chance for Naismith now! Back in business! 3 minutes to the break and Everton strike at the crucial time. Campbell does that so well. The ball fell in an impossible position for him. Flick on from Radzinski, but look at the way he coaches the ball out. Pinpoint the wrong side of Graham Lasso. And Gary Naismith is the man on the spot for his second strike of the season. His second against Chelsea in as many games. Pinpoint. Cudicini had no chance. Graveson's long throw again, it's a flick on from Campbell, might get a chance here, Campbell off the line, would you believe it? Linesman's right on top of it. And Campbell cannot quite believe what just happened there. Headed clear partially from Desai, was over the head of Cudicini, but it didn't cross the line. It was a brilliant clearance from Graham Lasso. Ball into the box, Campbell and Yobo in there. May fall for Naismith's ball into the back post. Campbell was waiting, he just needed the flick on. Stubbs tries to help it back into the danger area. Carsley being pushed all over the place. Header from Campbell against the bar. He is just not having a good day, Kevin Campbell. Maybe a push in the penalty area on Kevin Campbell. Play goes on though, and this could all boil over now as the ball goes forward towards Zola. Flag stays down. Gianfranco Zola to win it for Chelsea. Into Gronkaya, and he's just won it for Chelsea.
The defeat ended a week that would be quickly forgotten. David Moyes had the challenge of addressing his team's first dip in form. Blackburn at home offered the Blues an ideal opportunity to get back to winning ways.
David Thompson aims for that penalty spot, and Richard Wright was in no man's land, and Andy Cole manages the flick header over him. Well, it was a true striker's finish, but Everton defenders wondering where Richard Wright was going. Wright's long kick, and again it's for the head of Kevin Campbell. Shaw gets the header on it. Cole's flick header on was looking for Dwight York. Straight back in and a little bit untidy, but the flick header on from Carsley was fantastic. Into the feet of Campbell. Winding it up now, Carsley's kept going. Shot from Rooney off the post, and Carsley finishes it off. Well, he deserved the goal because he kept going. Ball bounced in a difficult area. Carsley, who's had a fantastic day so far, could have wrapped it up for Everton. Fantastic shot from Rooney. Brad Friedel left floundering. Carsley there to finish it off. Campbell may have fancied the shot himself in the first instance. Take one, take two. Kicks once again for Richard Wright. It's over the head of Campbell, and Short has let it bounce, and Rooney's in. You know the rest. Fantastic finish from Wayne Rooney. Defenders caught, wondering what to do. The last thing you should let it do is bounce at the feet of Wayne Rooney. He's so cool, isn't he? Got it under control straight away. And Friedel wondering what was going to happen next. The Evertonians knew the next chapter. Campbell felt he was fouled. There's where the mistake was made. And the finish was as cool as we've seen before. Flick header on. Almost like a slide rule pass. Yeah. Instrumental once again. It goes on. Everton have the advantage here. Another chance winding its way towards Thomas Gravesen in on goal. Can he wrap it up here for the Blues? Inches wide. He should have done better with that. Oceans of space for Thomas Gravesen inside the fullback. It was a cool finish, but just an inch wide of the post. Friedel's long kick towards Andy Cole. Stubbs with the assured clearance, no nonsense flick header on, and it's opened up for Wayne Rooney now. Campbell is the only man forward, may have to do it himself. He's done this before. Has he got a good chance to score here? Well, Campbell stopped. He thought he'd run out of pitch. Still a chance maybe for Hibbert to put the cross in. Rooney was in again. Danger still not clear. Thomas Gravesen with a shooting opportunity. Great save from Friedel. Well, he's kept them in it on more than one occasion at Goodison Park here.
It was just the result that was required when the character of the team was truly tested for the first time.
I think it was a game full of ups and downs. You know, we've had a few downs against Newcastle and against Chelsea last week where we felt we should have won the game. But we got the goal with County today, and it was a very gratifying 3 points.
With the festive period approaching, the players decided to put a bit of Christmas cheer onto the faces of the children at Alderhay Children's Hospital. Each child received an individual gift from the club. The players took the time to meet and greet both children and parents. Atomic Kitten's Liz was also on hand to help out.
Obviously what it does is it makes us realise how fortunate we are and how lucky we are to be in a position, and that we shouldn't take in this life for granted. But I do think that it's something which players should do. They're popular with a lot of people, children in hospital, and we've brought everybody here, and it's certainly not a bind to do this. This is and should be part of any footballer's job.
The first Merseyside derby of the season came 3 days before Christmas, and Everton went into it above Liverpool in the Premiership table.
Liverpool have a corner. Danny Murphy is going to take it. They've left John Arisa here with stinging shot and a good save by Richard Wright. Great effort from John Arisa. Back in the side on the left of midfield. Murphy picked him up beautifully. That's a sweet shot. That's a very good save by Everton's new goalkeeper this season, Richard Wright. Radzinski, Traore's missed it. Look at the space for Lee Carsley. Looks up, tries a chip. That's a brilliant save by Chris Kirkland. Well, he got Traore off the hook there. It was a sensational ball from Thomas Radzinski that completely split the Liverpool defence. Look at the space Carsley's got here. He's gone over the penalty area to play and he tried a chip. That's a brilliant stop. Stoney with the throw in for Everton. Still finally poised the derby. Into Rooney. Away from Hoopius. Wayne Rooney off the crossbar from Wayne Rooney. I think there was a great challenge in there for Moncho, to be honest with you, to put him off. Maybe that's why it hit the bar, didn't go in. It's a great turn, and yes, the deflection took it onto the bar. Opened up for him. It's a brilliant tackle for Moncho to take it onto the crossbar.
So the 167th League Merseyside derby finished goalless, but that was enough to keep the Blues above their rivals going into the Christmas period. The busy festive period began with a visit to Birmingham, but in a game of few chances, a point had to be settled for.
It is in towards Campbell. Gets the flick header on. It's Carsley at the back post. Well, he seemed to have a little bit more time than he needed almost as he came rushing in. And the bullet header just inches wide of Nico Vassen's goal. Navison turns creator this time. It's Radzinski who makes the forward run for him. Campbell just edges off. No offside flag, and Radzinski with a real chance here. And it's into the goal. And Radzinski puts a seal on what has so far been a dreadful Boxing Day game here. Vassen beaten all ends up. Radzinski cool with the finish. And Everton put themselves in pole position. Fantastic through ball. Cunningham tried to play the offside trap. Radzinski was onto him. And a cool finish after what was a dreadful first touch from Thomas Radzinski.
The minimum amount of time to be added to stoppage is 2 minutes. The minimum time of 2 added minutes.
Long ball that Yobo fails to deal with. And Everton in a wee bit of trouble here. Cross into the box. And they're back in it. Well, Everton fell asleep. The cross between two defenders. And Kirovski has given the home side a fighting chance here.
All in all, it was a disappointing Boxing Day outing to the Midlands. And Bolton at home would prove to be equally frustrating.
Left-footed, curls it in, flick there, but Haskelainen beat out Graveson's header somehow. Got down very quickly, it was a lovely flick on. Great save from Haskelainen. And it's wrong, it's not a great clearance, that's not much better. And Rooney might be in the clear here. He's past Campo, onto the right foot, he's gone wide, onto the left. But Haskelainen saves. Not away yet though, turned back in by Graveson. Campo gets it out. So Rooney denied again. He had the beating of Campo with an excellent piece of acceleration. From the right foot, he switched to the left, and Haskelainen did the rest. Graveson's throw to the area and hits at the far post. Here's Rooney again, off the crossbar, and cleared. Bolton living dangerously, and this young man, wonderful skills to take the ball onto the right foot, but off the crossbar.
It just wasn't to be, and the Blues were held to another draw. And so Everton said farewell to 2002, proudly positioned 4th in the Premiership table, and looking forward to the year ahead with real confidence. Once an Evertonian, always an Evertonian, and that's certainly true of Alan Stubbs. Born and raised in Kirkby, Stubbsy arrived at Goodison via the long route of Bolton Wanderers and Glasgow Celtic, but he's certainly making up for lost time. A model of consistency in the Blues' defence, the centre-half combines power and courage with an erring accuracy every time he strikes a football. In fact, the only surprise from his extremely impressive season is the tally of goals, 0. Not that the fans are complaining, Alan Stubbs has been outstanding. The new year kicked off with the visit of Kevin Keegan's Manchester City. It was another Goodison thriller.
Turn. Oh, Watson's in. Watson must. Watson does. Oh, what a return for Steve Watson. His first start of the season and a goal to boot. A beautiful play by Everton and the new year off to the perfect start. Lovely football. Rooney's turn, instrumental. Watson on the border of offside, it's fair to say, but a consummate finish from a man who earns his catch usually as a defender. He's always confident in front of goal. And there was no answer to that finish. 1-0 Everton. Short one. Jensen, Benarbia. Benarbia goes on. In behind. Wright loses it and Elka scores. Benarbia. Huckabee in the centre, Wright Phillips making a strong run in there too. Goes in towards Foe. Sun Ji Hai can pick it up. Oh, dainty little ball and a magnificent goal. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. And at the third time of asking, Mark Vivian Foe has finally put it away. Still a real mess. Watson in there. Schmeichel couldn't get there, but he does in the end. Lee Tai going right in with Schmeichel there. He got the first bite, but needed a second to keep hold. Watson rising in the area again. Got some power on it. Schmeichel claiming it while the boots were flying. Now Huckabee on the turn. Richard Wright out. One last cavalry charge. Lee Tai is up there. Oh, Radzinski's in here! Oh, he's got it! Thomas Radzinski buries the chance and has saved Everton a point right at the death. And the relief on that man's face is very clear indeed. Thomas Radzinski, it's just a long pump up the field. Everybody missed it, and in that position, there's just no doubting Thomas. Confusion in the Manchester City defence, Lee Tai causing problems, and an opportunist finish of real class from the Canadian. And Everton could just have staved off defeat.
Just a point then, but it was a point snatched from the jaws of defeat. Drawn against Kevin Ratcliffe's Shrewsbury in the FA Cup, Everton made all the third-round headlines for the wrong reasons, losing 2-1 to a side that would end the season in 92nd place in the Football League. Injuries up front were beginning to take their toll, and David Moyes went stateside to solve the problem. He brought in the American World Cup star Brian McBride for a 3-month loan period. The league campaign resumed at White Hart Lane, with both teams looking to put FA Cup disappointment behind them, and Brian McBride got off to a flyer.
And it's a ball in to McBride, and he's got a chance here to put a Premiership start with a golden tag on it, and he's done it, Brian McBride. Well, he was brought in as cover originally, but David Moyes could have just found himself a steal just in time. 10 minutes in, Spurs defenders were nowhere. Yobo's initial header, the pass was spotted.
Opening goal for Everton, scored after 9
no
minutes
chance to
and
get back,
56
Doherty.
seconds from number 19.
McBride was cool. Ashton Bartz in the most unlikely of starts here. He's got an early one to deal with to keep Everton in it here. And Spurs are back in it via the skipper for the day, Gus Poyet. Well, we just mentioned Ashton Bartson's unlikely start. Richard Wright pulling out in the warm-up. Another ball in now on Keane. Can he go round Barton? Yes, he can. Awful time to concede the second. 5 minutes after the break. Tier with a crossing opportunity now, and it's towards the back post. Stubbs is there. Great save from Casey Keller. Stubbs had thought he put them back in it there. Springing for the corner early on his right foot, and he spotted up for any Evertonian. Goes in there, and it's into the goal from Steve Watson. Well, it's only 7 minutes since Tottenham had put themselves in a timely lead. Steve Watson so often proves his worth in a penalty area at the other end. Casey Keller was beaten by the power. Ball in, and it's a great little turn from Robbie Keane. He's got no chance. Oh, well, he has got the chance for the shot. It opened up for him, but you didn't think he was going to try a shot from distance. And he's made it 3-2. Ball into the air again. Not much to pick from, but Radzinski's created a chance all of his own. And the left foot dipping drive puts Everton back in it at 3-3. Game on. A rapid move from Everton. It's bounced over the head of Alan Stubbs, and Robbie Keane is in again here. Round Yobo, chance for Keane to the hat-trick. Well, he may just have won this for Tottenham.
So there was no way back for the Brave Blues. Disappointing, but they were by no means disgraced. With the visit of relegation threatened Sunderland, the Blues, with Brian McBride making his home debut, were looking for another 3 points, and the Gladys Street end got a new hero.
McBride and Tier break out of the picture on the right-hand side. Thomas Radzinski turning his full-back inside, and out Darren Williams looks for the ball inside now, finds it from Scott Gemmell. One more to Watson would have done the trick. Watson has support from Naismith, switches play again onto the right-hand side. Pistoni's cross, Watson's header against the woodwork. Well, they're cursing bad luck. Let's just hope it's not going to be one of those days. Well, he met it square with his head. I think it was the challenge in the end from Jody Craddock that grounded him. Sean Thornton is the only man forward for Sunderland. He wanted the ball early from George McCartney and didn't get it. Phillips fires that ball, which is an intelligent one, around the wrong side of Watson. Shot comes in for Sunderland, and they've gone and taken the lead. Bastoni into Watson. Watson has a run from Gemmell if he can pick it out now. He does do. And Gemmell has a crossing opportunity now. McBride, Radzinski comes short for the cross. McBride at the back post, acrobatics from him, and it's crept in. And there's the equaliser for Everton. Well, Sorensen just couldn't adjust his feet in time, but Gemmell found the cross. Fair play to him. And the acrobatics from Brian McBride eventually found the net. And it's Everton 1, well deserved. Sunderland 1. Gemmell had all the time in the world to look up and pick his cross. Radzinski pulled away for him, and that's what happened. It was a deflection off the back of a defender that beat the goalkeeper. It looked peculiar the way it came, but it was off the back of Jody Craddock. And Brian McBride keeps up that fantastic ratio of 2 in 2. Gravison back to Gemmell again. Stubbs. Radzinski. Good little ball through. McBride with a chance here. McBride tries the shot. It's in! Oh my word, he's done it again! Well, it can't say it wasn't deserved, and Brian McBride collects his second of the game, his 3rd in 2. And when David Moyes said this was going to be one of the better loan signings of the year, there may have been a few eyebrows raised, but his predatory skills in and around the box are not being questioned now. And look at the grimace on his face. Gemmell again at the centre of it. Ball in from Stubbs. Great touch from Radzinski, just sold the defender. Into McBride. I don't think he knew what he was doing with it at that point, but he sold the keeper. An absolute kipper.
And so back to winning ways, and Goodison breathed a sigh of relief.
Well, he's great just now. He's come in and he scored 3 goals in 2 games. Some might not give him the first goal, but I think his overhead kick was going in target, so hopefully he'll be given it. But he came in and, as I say, he's full of energy, and I told people when he arrived what he was. He was very honest. He would do everything he possibly could to lead the front line, and he's coming up with the goals as well, which is good.
After a 10-day break, David Moyes was hoping his side could embark on another profitable run, starting at Bolton's Reebok Stadium.
Kevin, Franson that are over it. Charlton is also to the right. Campo, it's landed at the feet of the Spaniard. Hands on head all round. Comes in from Campo. Unsworth high into the Reebok sky. Watson first time. Oh, that's a cracking goal from Steve Watson. Everton take the lead. What a cracker. Yaskalainen looks on. It was Unsworth with the floating free kick. It landed nicely at the feet of Watson, who turned and snuck it past the Finnish international goalkeeper with aplomb. On towards Radzinski. Good tackle by Ngotti. It's a good save from Yaskalainen. And Watson's got the second. Not renowned for his goal-scoring exploits, but there's two in a game. Everton find themselves 2 goals to the good, and Ngotti's mistake challenging Radzinski. Watson pouncing on the rebound from Yaskalainen's save. Radzinski there. Watson wasn't going to miss. Throw, which will cause problems. Ngotti away. Was nicely for Naismith. Yaskalainen equal to a really, really good shot. Caught it full on. And already we're talking about goal of the season at Everton if that one would have gone in. Gardner. Franson likes to travel from range. Richard Wright called upon to make a good save. Gemmell swings it in. Watson's header. It was nearly an unbelievable hat-trick for the Everton defender. Nolan helped on by Campo. Franson still in there, and now it is in there, and Bolton late on have got to go back. A real mishmash of a goal.
Even the late goal couldn't take the shine off another impressive performance from the Blues, and especially from Steve Watson. After a stuttering start to the new year, 2 successive victories in the latter stages of the month ensured the club remained in 5th place. Brian McBride first came to the attention of David Moyes when the pair linked up at Preston North End. So, when he needed striking cover, the Blues boss knew where to turn, and McBride crossed the Atlantic to renew that working relationship. The effect was stunning. A goal just 10 minutes into his debut, and a brace that defeated Sunderland. Combining energy, skill and composure, McBride was an instant hit. Once again, David Moyes had backed a winner. February began with the visit of much-troubled Leeds United. Having already won at Elland Road earlier in the season, for the first time since 1951, could the Blues inflict their first double over the club since that same year?
Radzinski. Unsworth trying to weigh up the options ahead of him. Picks out McBride. He's got half a yard here on Mills. It's Watson! Oh, how he would have loved another. 4 goals in his last 4 games for Steve Watson. Lukic and Matteo forward for the corner, which is worked short here to Ocon. Now Wilcox and Cure! Blocked by Unsworth. Excellent defensive cover from David Unsworth. Climbed by McBride. And again Brian McBride for Naismith. Radzinski. Support from Unsworth. McBride. Watson in there. And a corner kick is the decision. Well, he scored with a spectacular overhead kick at Bolton in midweek. Steve Watson really enjoying this right-sided midfield role now. Says his days as a right back and now behind him. Here's Radzinski, pace again, a problem for Mills, goes down, and the referee says penalty. Well, Everton have been looking for that ball to try and get one of the Leeds defenders isolated with Radzinski. And can Unsworth give Everton the lead? A most convincing penalty from Everton's long-serving defender. David Unsworth makes no mistake. This is Lee Tier. David Unsworth. Radzinski. Promising build-up this from Everton. And Radzinski's in here! 2-0! And the finish from Thomas Radzinski matched the build-up, and Leeds United simply had no answer to it. Lovely passing movement here, Leeds here firmly involved, and when it found Radzinski, he was not found wanting in the finishing stakes. Premiership goal number 9 of the season for Thomas Radzinski.
Not since Fulham back in September had Evertonians been able to enjoy a victory by a 2-goal margin, and how they enjoyed it.
Leeds played very well in the first half. They caused us several problems, but all in all I thought come the end of the 90 minutes we deserved the victory.
Charlton away. They were enjoying their best season in the Premiership under Alan Kirbishley, and they'd offer a stiff challenge to David Moyes' men.
Well-rehearsed corner kick from Gravison in towards the front post, Bastoni waiting. He had plenty of time to direct his header goalwards and sauntered in unmarked. Everton just happy Charlton can have that bit of possession. Gemmell just hanging around. It's gone by him and in real danger here. There's no flag though, and Kinashek on the back post. Stoney's little ball inside, and it's Gravison just trying to carve another chance out for Everton. An awful lot of time to turn, he doesn't need it. Right, left onto the left foot. Big chance that for Brian McBride. Created it himself. Kylie had it well covered as Naismith came in. Gemmell's header forward. Gravison the furthest advance. Pastoni hasn't given up on it. May need him again. Thomas Gravison does get him in. Good chest control from Pastoni. Onto the edge of the box. Radzinski and Felitier. Another chance for the Blues, and it's in! And it's Brian McBride. And he's had a dream start to his Everton career, and that's a priceless goal that puts a smile on the face of David Moyes. Pastoni was involved, as was Gravison, a few fortuitous pieces of skill. Radzinski, Felitier managed to get it under his feet, and Brian McBride knew where the goal was. Felitier just rolling it under his studs. McBride didn't even have a chance to look where it was going. Charlton looking slightly stronger in these exchanges now. Everton been quiet since the goal went in. It's up towards Hewlin, it's come off Felitier, and real danger once again for the Blues here. It's heartbreak as Lisby gets the cool finish. Back to Stubbs. Maybe one last chance as the whistles ring out. It's dropped into the feet of Wayne Rooney. Worth an effort from distance.
The late goal was enough to end Everton's 3-match winning run. Before the next Premiership match, Wayne Rooney reached another landmark. His incredible rise to stardom was marked with a substitute appearance for England against Australia at Upton Park. he became the youngest Englishman to ever represent his country. The visit of Gordon Strachan Southampton proved to be a really dramatic affair, and in a high noon showdown the Blues left it late, very late.
Just letting things so far in terms of chances created. Just needs to look at the area, but London Farm sends the ball forward. It's in towards Beattie, and he's between a whole host of Everton defenders, and he's got the cool finish too. Well, it was a howler from Everton's point of view. Beattie was left in absolutely miles of space. Good throw and take it. It's towards Kevin Campbell. He's Radzinski to pick from if he can play him in here. Just on the edge of the box, opens up in the frame, a goal! Well, Niemi would have been beaten. Great game though he's had. Radzinski give him no chance with the shot. And it's a coat of paint in it for the little Canadian. Long ball from Unsworth into the channel. Bit of a chance maybe for the cross here. It is a good cross, and it's towards Thomas Radzinski, probably the smallest man on the field. A vital time to get it to. Rooney with a fantastic ball into the box. He had the time and space to deliver. And he's not just a striker, is he? Turn creator there. Johnny on the spot. It was Radzinski between two defenders. The rest was simple. Niemi was beaten. There's the reaction from the manager. Absolutely delighted. Niemi's long kick. Everton well back in this now. Stoney, Watson, anything will do now in terms of danger that you can put in Southampton's penalty area. They're onto the back now, maybe a chance opening up for Rooney on his left foot. He tried to buy himself a little bit of time, confusion between Lundek Farm and Svensson. Rooney little turn, it was a vital challenge. Long left, ball up towards Radzinski, cleared. Back in with Gravison, but it's out towards Radzinski. Not an awful lot of option here for Thomas Radzinski, not even a cross. He doesn't go for the cross, he goes for the shot on goal, and that is unbelievable. Truly sensational finish when there was no other option on, and it's pandemonium, the roof above us shaking. The half clearance caused confusion. Radzinski screaming for it, but no options on. Nobody made the penalty area, but the shot was one out of the very top drawer from Thomas Radzinski.
The roof almost lifted off as Goodison celebrated yet another unforgettable victory.
Just really so excited that the way it's ended up, because we deserved it. There's no question we deserved it, and you just think, oh, here we go again. It's not going to be our day or maybe our chance, but the boys kept going and they were great. They really were. I don't know how many opportunities was created, and we got our rewards.
It's always a really nice feeling scoring in the last minute and getting the winner. I think against Man City it was almost the same, but we only got a point. Today it's all three, and it's just brilliant.
2 wins out of 3 kept the Blues nicely positioned in 5th, and hopes were high as February drew to a close. Enjoying life under David Moyes, Canadian international Thomas Radzinski has blossomed into one of the Premiership's most reliable strikers. His vital goals have been an important factor in the Blues' transformation from relegation candidates to top 6 regulars. His ability to ghost past defenders and finish with supreme accuracy has seen him become one of the league's most marked players. March began with an away fixture against Steve McLaren's Middlesbrough, who'd benefited from a large influx of players before the transfer window closed.
Cleared by Unsworth, and well, the ball was over the head of Stuart Parnamy, and Radzinski's got away, and he's got away now from Chris Riggott, and Radzinski has some space to attack, and it's behind Kevin Campbell, and Steve Watson it is. And Steve Watson it is that's opened the scoring. But he scored 4 in the Premiership already this season. That's goal number 5, and it delights the 3,000 travelling away fans. And really that goal was all about the work of Tomasz Rosiński.
Yeah, you say what a threat he is. He's done it ever so well there. The game seemed to stop. Riggett, I'm not sure if he thought somebody was coming behind him, but he seemed to stop and then go. He's been done by a great bit of skill from Rosiński. Gets a bit fortunate, deflection. Campbell does ever so well. I'm still expecting a tackle from Frank Quadriri. He maybe could have been a bit stronger there, but Watson's in a bit of goal-scoring form and he's got the break.
Nice touch that way, Kevin Campbell.
It was a nice touch, but I think Quadri's got to be stronger there. Really mince into Watson.
Maybe Borough can do something here. It's with George Botti again. He has Macaroni and he has Ricketts as well. This is Ricketts. Macaroni in some space now if he can get it across. With a chance to break themselves, the ball through the middle, aimed towards Wayne Rooney, and Rooney's through a goal, and Rooney's put it just wide of the post. Well, Wayne Rooney nearly won it for Everton.
That's a let-off. I mean, once he got out of that position, for all your money, you expected him to score. Takes it down ever so well. Takes it, just gets caught, and just, in fact, it's a great save in time of Southgate.
A valuable point which took the Blues back up to fourth. West Ham visited Goodison next, and on the back of two successive victories. With survival being the Hammers' only objective, Goodison witnessed only its second goalless contest of the season.
They're down by Ferdinand, it's a good one too to Sinclair, who tries the pot shot. It's a good save from Richard Wright. And 8 minutes into the second half, we've seen the real first shot at goal. Forward looking for the head of Campbell as well with the flick on. First sight of such a flick on in this game. Rosiński gets the shot in, and it's just unfortunate. Rooney still maybe with a snap chance on it. Raverson's ball looking for Watson. Great turn from Watson. What can he do from here? Inside, shot in his left foot. Hibbert. Matio's ball is a good one to Rosiński, right into his path. Nobody hanging short on the edge of the penalty area, so the cross the only end result. Hibbert and the header in from Stubbs. Well, you were just expecting the net to bulge there. Alan Stubbs probably with Everton's best chance of the game so far. It's a harsh clearance from David Weir. Will it drop for Rosiński? Does well, just helps it into the path of Wayne Rooney. Tries to go by Pierce. Wayne Rooney on his right foot. The shot was blocked. That's a great effort on goal, and probably Everton's best effort on goal of the whole day.
A frustrating afternoon, with West Ham certainly leaving the happier of the two teams. From relegation-threatened Hammers to champions Arsenal, the Blues would face an altogether different task at Highbury.
The opportunity for Arsenal to implode the penalty area. Campbell up, Sigurd up. And Arsenal lead. Rooney wants it again from Graverson. It's Gilberto who's covering in the left-back position. Rooney up, Sigurd's now across, and Rooney gets round the back. Cambridge. Almost got on the end of it. Dazzling bit of footwork from the young England prospect. Two players easily fooled and Cambridge again. To say he went for the shot. Way to start things moving again for the visitors. Everton's running is one that even Arsenal might not envy. And that's a beautiful ball from Alan Stubbs to pick out Rooney, and he tries to find Campbell. Who can only draw the side netting. His passing move to cover the length of the field. Directly into towards goal! And has pulled Everton level, would you believe it? The Everton fans go wild in appreciation of the scourge of Arsenal. Arsene Wenger furious, and rightly so. Wayne Rooney was 40-odd yards out when he picked up the ball. Segan looked to have provided adequate cover. But when faced by the little terror that is Wayne Rooney, he had one thing and just one thing on his mind. An unstoppable finish. Battling with Unsworth. Lundberg came in. And Vieira! Arsenal's captain reclaims their lead.
Defeated, but not for the first time, by no means disgraced. And Wayne Rooney added another fine goal to his already impressive collection. As March drew to a close, just 2 points out of a possible 9 saw the Blues slip to 6, but still in touch with the leading pack. After suffering from a series of injuries in the early stages of the campaign, talented right-back Steve Watson re-emerged in a newly established midfield role. It allowed him to get forward whenever possible. He also proved himself a goal scorer of natural quality. Calm under pressure, possessing the ability to pick the right pass or carry the ball forward, he's now regarded as one of the most highly respected members of the Everton squad. April began with the visit of Newcastle to Goodison Park. Both teams eager for the points, and with Wayne Rooney returning fresh from a stunning England performance against Turkey, Goodison anticipated a true heavyweight clash.
Gravison with the corner into Carsley. Gravison on his right foot this time. Header on, big chance, in off the post, and you could have written the headline prior to it. Wayne Rooney, bang, 1-0 to Everton. He's there or thereabouts when you need him. Edge of the 6-yard box, great ball in, flick header, and there he is doing the true striker's job. Well, we've seen him score spectacular goals time and time again, but this was a true striker's finish. Great header on, hanging about on the edge of the 6-yard box. Flick header gives Everton the lead. David Unsworth.
Stand by, Operation Goodison exercise.
Carsley.
Stand by, Operation Goodison exercise.
Yobo. Everton playing with a bit more panache now. Joseph Yobo. The ball onto the edge of the box. Carsley hangs about. Campbell with the shot as it crept under the legs of Shea Given. Almost put Everton 2 in front. And again, it was swift play from the Blues. Carsley throwing his legs in. And Campbell with the early shot. Woodgate intelligent there. Great ball as well. Left-hand side, plenty of space for Robert to try the shot. And that is a truly super goal. His 5th strike of the season. And I tell you what, the space that he was awarded on the left-hand side, he's going to punish Everton. But that was a truly special goal from Laurent Robert. And let's go out for the throw-in. We sense the Blues need a goal soon. Might come from Stubbs. Great save. And Stubbs caught ahead of somebody square in the face there, I think. Brave header from Stubbs. Straight into the grateful arms. Well, it was a foot in the face. I think it was from Jonathan Woodgate. Oh, Bellamy quite fortuitous the way it landed here, in real trouble. Great play from Joseph Yobo in clearing it, because Shearer was waiting to put the ball in the back of the net. The challenge on Bernard that may be punished later on. Gravison was involved. The referee's all over the place here, and Gravison's gone back to see if Bernard's okay. Play goes on, there's calls for Everton to put it out. Wayne Rooney still in possession for the Blues, he's not giving it up. Into Kevin Campbell, is that a penalty? Yes, it is. Well, there was confusion all over the park because Gravison and Bernard were both hurt in an earlier challenge. Alan Stubbs, out of your picture, is facing the other way. He can't watch. David Unsworth, it'll be his left foot. You suspect a hammer of a strike, and it's 2-1 to Everton.
David Unsworth's number 5 of the season, and the pressure lifts from Evertonians' shoulders as they regain the advantage here at Goodison Park. A truer strike as you wouldn't see. Shay Given went to his left and Unsworth went at the very centre of the goal.
A tremendous victory, and one to re-emphasise just where the team's ambitions lay. From top to bottom, relegation-bound West Bromwich Albion still had a few points to prove, but found the resilient Blues in no mood for compromises.
Awkward bounce for Sigurdsson, second chance to clear. It's a little bit more on it. Oh, Rooney through the legs of Warwick. Rooney's got Campbell. Chance for Rooney, goes right-footed. But it's over. Well, Campbell wanted the pass, but there was players back. Maybe should have shaped onto his left. Tried to poke it towards the top corner, but wide of Russell Holt's goal. Kumas moves it wide to Guigan. It's a great ball, that is by Sean Guigan. Dicchio needs to do well. And ball, it's penalty! First penalty of the season for West Bromwich Albion. Everton fought, let's have a look at the replay. Oh, his arm was there, that's a penalty. Second goal of the campaign awaits Igor Ballis if he can chuck this in. Against Richard Wright, make yourself look big. Igor Ballis, right-footed. No mistake, 1-0 West Brom. And well-deserved, it has to be said. Pembridge, left-footed, should be the keepers if he can get there. He's punched into his own net, I think, Russell Holt. Well, we're looking forward to seeing the replay there, but I think it looked initially that Russell Holt had punched into his own net. Well, Albion's good work's been undone again. Let's have a look at the replay. Over it came, and it could it possibly Campbell or possibly Holt. Difficult to tell from that angle. I think the Albion keeper's certainly got some questions to be asked. Well, it's been given to David Weir over the tunnel. I don't think that's the case. Gravison. Yobo, bit of space. High hanging cross, surely this time will be the keepers. He's struggling again, Holt. But this time has he been impeded? No, goal given, is it? Goal given, 2-1. Well, Russell Holt's at fault for 2. Everton find themselves 2-1 to the good. I thought I heard a whistle in the build-up. Russell Holt again backpedaling. Could do nothing but help it across. Rooney, alert. Pulled it back, Campbell, no mistake. Once more, Dicchio, great flick. Yobo goes central. Put clear by Stubbs. Helped on again by Campbell. Sigurdsson ball watching. A Walworth slice, could break to Rooney. Wayne Rooney! Side netting. Difficult to tell from here. I thought he'd got that. He got there ahead of Russell Holt. 2 mistakes from West Brom, losing the first header. Slice clearance from Ronnie Warwick. Holt beaten. Not the frame of the post, so just outside. Seemed to favour the outside of the boot, Wayne Rooney, on a couple of occasions today. You do feel maybe the left foot might have been the option there. Stubbs keeps it in, prevents the corner. Good play, Alan Stubbs. Exceptional play. Campbell does well to get it back to Gemmell. Chance for Rooney if he can find the right ball. That's a cracking ball, that is by Scott Gemmell. Rooney in behind Guigan, Guigan labouring. Does enough. Lovely ball from Scott Gemmell, the substitute. Floated in behind Sean Guigan. There's only going to be one winner there for pace. Rooney first time, just wide of the near post. Holt not to know, took no chances, corner.
So yet another test passed by David Moyes' men. But the second of the Merseyside derbies wouldn't go as expected.
Gary Naismith with the Everton corner. Short one this time to Gravison. It's Gravison to swing it across. Traore to Gerrard to safety. Carsley. Rooney will attack it. Dudek has spilled it. There's no whistle. And off the line by Jamie Carragher. It's Gary Naismith to hit it. And Dudek had to make the save. Really awkward one for the Liverpool keeper to deal with.
Sometimes the low ones are more difficult to keep out. It's a good stop. Here's Risa. Murphy to Michael Owen. Owen running at Yobo. Owen into the area. Michael Owen scores! And Michael Owen scores from open play for the first time in the derby. Steve Watson is going to take charge of the throw-in. He's looking for maximum distance here. Campbell is a likely candidate to be on the receiving end. In from Watson. Up goes Campbell. Didn't get a touch. Now it's Grevison! And only an inch or so past the post. Clearance went straight to the Dane. Hit it first time so sweetly. Watson. Traore. Given to Gravison. Now Naismith. And here's Unsworth. Naismith into the area. Carragher comes across. Down goes Naismith. Penalty given. Paul Durkin had no hesitation in pointing to the spot. Carragher kicks at the turf in frustration. Naismith was there first. It is a clear penalty call. Unsworth against Dudek. Blasted home! They're neck and neck again. It always means more to thump one in on Derby Day. Gerrard to Quicken. Two coming toward him. Here's Harman. Carsley back at him. Harman continues, but only into the challenge of Weir. Now Murphy, curly one! Everton have come back to level once. Have they got it in them to do it again? Gravison has swung it Ferguson's way. And towards Naismith, down he goes. It was Carragher again, and this time it's no foul.
So Merseyside League derby number 168 ended in defeat. And Champions League chasing Chelsea have proved almost unbeatable on their home ground this season.
Frank Lampard. Goes down by Lee tight. Space for the Dutchman to weave his magic. Good Johnson. Yobo is caught out. Only Hasselbank in the area for Gronkiar. It is Hasselbank. So Varaya's gone in. Hasselbank has surprised us most in Stamford Bridge. Wright is injured. Chelsea are 2-0 up. It was Gronkiar's cross. Hasselbank's header. It looked like he was going to go over or wide. And Wright, diving in desperation, has injured himself. Gronkiar has snuck in through the back door, and 3-0 to Chelsea. Carsley was pulled back by Melchior. Everton have possession and the advantage is with Gemmell. Trying to find Carsley. Everton back in the game. Lee Carsley, who started the move himself, and he was on the end of the ball through to finish off the move. It was Gemmell's ball through. Zola. Oh, it's going to go in, it's 4.
It was a disappointing defeat, but one that couldn't be dwelled upon. Aston Villa visited Goodison, still needing points to secure their Premiership status, but yet another late show kept Everton right on track.
Gravison. Can't go by Ronnie Johnson, and Johnson was grimacing at something there. Header coming in from Kevin Campbell, or was it Stubbs? Very hard to see from where we were. From Gravison, Campbell. And it was a poor kick from Richard Wright. It's put Everton back in trouble. Hitzelsberger has played in Dion Dublin.
Back out wide to Whittingham. Was on to start the game today, Whittingham, but hasn't. Had it clear by David Unsworth. Everton slow in pushing out. A bit of heavy legs, and it's come to the back post. And Olbeck has stolen an unlikely goal for Aston Villa. Clear for everyone to hear that Evertonians want them to press on, and they could do now with Wayne Rooney. He's going to try one against Schmelberg. Carsley, Gravison. Naismith is screaming for it, gets it. Rooney on the edge of the box. As is Carsley. Gravison now. Switch play to Hibbert. Carsley gets it. Watson's in a bit of space. Rooney collects. No space for him to manoeuvre though. Gravison and Aston Villa are doing their job quite well. Just backing into their markers. Rooney tries to turn. Campbell's ball through is a good one. Ferguson tried the shot, maybe still on for Gravison. Campbell's on the edge of the box, gets the cross in, headed from Watson. Well, it was at a difficult height, and it was dipping and bending. And Peter Enkelman wasn't entirely sure. Lloyd Samuel got a crucial challenge in. A shot from Duncan Ferguson. Carsley, it was a short corner. Naismith with the cross into the box. Campbell! Well, the pressure is told at last, but really it was deserved over the great scale of things. Now Everton get the chance to put the game beyond Aston Villa. Heads are down in the Aston Villa camp, but it was a well-worked corner. Great cross from Gary Naismith. Up goes Kevin Campbell, and that's his 11th of the season. Rose like a true striker, unmarked. Wayne Rooney on the left foot. Yes! Unbelievable! Well, that's application for you. Wayne Rooney has given Everton all 3 points surely. Absolute pandemonium breaks out here at Goodison Park. Absolute pandemonium. It's not been one of his better games in an Everton shirt, but no one will remember that. Nobody will remember that. They'll only remember that. That's as sweet a strike as you'll see. On the left foot. And that's why he was kept on. Look at his face. Well, I wonder if that tops the Arsenal goal. Everton make a substitution and the roof will come off again because it's going to be Wayne Rooney to make way. His 8th goal of the season in just 15 starts. And they all get a chance to give him a hug. Jimmy Lumsden, David Unsworth.
It was Goodison's biggest crowd of the season, and how they enjoyed the victory. 3 wins out of 5 in April had kept the Blues firmly in place for a top 6 finish, and the season entered its final leg.
We were in those positions, and there was a lot of talk about could we maybe make the Champions League, and it was probably just up until Easter time when we lost the 2 games on the Saturday and the Monday, which probably ruled us out of that. But we were there, but I think it does show how important the run into the season is, and the games you've got, and the squad of players you have available. And I think things just caught up on us a little bit at the end of the season.
David Unsworth, in his testimonial year at the club, has been one of David Moyes' most consistent performers since scoring the first goal in his reign back in March 2002. Since then, he's continued in goal-scoring form. He netted 5 times over the season, including crucial goals against Birmingham, Leeds and Newcastle. Loved by all Evertonians, now in his 2nd spell with the club since making his debut back in 1992, David is a Blue who wears his heart on his sleeve. May kicked off at Fulham's temporary home at Loftus Road, but it was another fruitless trip to the capital.
And Pembridge keep it in play. Cross does stay in play as well, and a dangerous one may fall for Hibbert here. Carsley maybe with a chance. Oh, and it's crept, has it in? No, and it's Hibbert who was hanging about, but a comedy of errors in Fulham's own penalty area there, and Mike Taylor was almost slow motion. Alan Stubbs has scored an own goal. With the ball in, and it's a difficult one. Has that gone in? Yes, it has. The referee has given it. This will be the best angle for us to see from.
It was a disappointing afternoon, which now meant Everton's battle with Blackburn for the final UEFA Cup slot would go right down to the wire. Facing champions Manchester United in the final game of the season, Everton's destiny lay in their own hands.
Everton understandably needing to win to cement their UEFA Cup place, while giving it a real go. And it's there! Kevin Campbell has flicked it home! David Moyes tries hard to contain his emotions, the supporters can't contain theirs. It's Kevin Campbell's 50th Everton goal, and he had to be strong under pressure from two United defenders. Somehow won the duel and beat Carroll. Rooney. He's got Campbell with him. Rooney might want to go alone. Ferdinand won't get out of his way. Rooney will still get the shot in. Carroll manages to bring it down into his grasp. Some nice supply to the left ankle of Kevin Campbell. That's why he went off. Solskjaer down. Challenge came in. David Unsworth is being called across to Mike Riley. It is a challenge from behind. Took the ball as a secondary effort. It's going to be David Beckham. It's over the wall. It's into the corner of the net. It is classic David Beckham. Now it's David Unsworth, trying to get into full stride. Takes him a while to get there, but he's no slouch once he's in top gear. And this is Naismith, and Rooney! Oh, the goal was gaping. What an opening. Naismith's pullback, and Rooney knows what he should have done. Unsworth's corner. Up went Scholes, straight up in the air. Ferguson down. Rooney! What a save by Roy Carroll. An incredible stop from the Ulsterman. Ferguson's knocked down. Rooney on the spin, must have thought he'd scored. Keane. Here's Giggs, and Nistelrooy stayed onside. Now trying to turn, down he goes, and Mike Riley's given a penalty. Alan Stubbs with the foul, as seen and interpreted by the referee. Ruud van Nistelrooy looking to score for the 10th successive Manchester United game. Here comes Van Nistelrooy. It was never...
Champions was a bridge too far, but the thunderous reception the players and management received after the final whistle was testament to the great progress that was made during a really memorable campaign. The season may have finished on a low, but all Evertonians were justifiably proud of the progress that had been made. To have been in with a shout of qualifying for Europe as the final day approached was a pressure the fans hadn't experienced since 1996. The supporters knew that every ounce of effort had been given. The supporters also knew that under the guidance of David Moyes, the future was as bright as it had ever been. They also knew they had the brightest young talent in English football. There's much to look forward to as Everton Football Club approaches its 125th anniversary. The 100th campaign in the top flight had gone well. The team had finished 7th in the Premiership table, a quite magnificent 7th.
It's been good, I think, for everyone involved around the club, fans, players, staff, everyone. You know, we've had some great results this season, and we've brought a feel-good factor back to the club again.
I think that the way we've performed this season is just a high. We've gone out there with no fear against all the teams in this league and performed very well. I think that is one of the major highs, that there's such a great spirit in this club that it's fantastic to be involved with.
I've enjoyed it very much so. It's been a great first season. I've really enjoyed being involved at Everton. It's a smashing club, and hopefully we can bring some more good times to the club. We have made progress, and obviously that's pleasing. It's been several years since we've probably had a feeling at Goodison, which has been good as possibly Sunday's game against Manchester United. And that's the way we want to try and take it forward. We're still tinged with lots of disappointment, but I think possibly the bigger picture will tell us that there has been big strides made, and we're going in the right direction.